I'm just waiting to see if we're actually live. I'm just waiting to see. Okay. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Gary A. Swaby, and you're now listening to the React podcast. Very sorry for that, short, awkward delay there at the start. We just wanted to make sure we were absolutely live this time because we had some technical difficulties with YouTube. So yeah, basically had to change some settings, and now here we are live. And we just talked a bunch about Inside Xbox without actually being live before, so we're gonna discuss it all again, and we're still gonna be excited because now you guys are listening. So that's a good thing. So I'm here with Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. How you doing, Rich?
Doing good, Gary. What's up, listeners and viewers?
Indeed. And as for the listeners and viewers, I see Other Zinc is already in the chat. What's up, Other Zinc? I know
What's
you.
up?
I know you can't wait to hear what we got to say about Microsoft today. And how are you doing, Miss Dana Abercrombie?
I'm doing very well, much better than the hatred that Xbox is getting in their comments section.
Uh-oh. That's no good.
Yeah,
we're definitely going to touch on that. But yeah, as you guys know, the reason we are here today is because Microsoft had their Inside Xbox, and this stream was kind of hyped up for about a week now. And the idea of this show was to basically show us some of the games that we can expect on the next gen of Xbox. Some of these games are also going to be on the PlayStation 5 as well, so a lot of Sony fans were interested in this stream too, because there's third-party games basically. So yeah, I'm basically gonna list all of the games that were shown during the broadcast, and we can basically just each give our impressions, our thoughts on what we thought of the stream, and if any of these games actually stood out to us. So let me try and run through the list. So the first game was Bright Memory Infinite by Playism. And we had Call of the Sea by Raw Fury. We had Chorus by Deep Silver. We had Dirt 5 by Codemasters. We had Madden NFL 21 from Electronic Arts. We had Scarlet Nexus by Bandai Namco. We had Scorn by EBB. We had Second Extinction by Systemic Reaction. We had The Ascent by Neon Giant and Curve Digital. We had The Medium by Blooper Team. We had Vampire the Masquerade by Bloodlines 2. We had Yakuza Like a Dragon from Sega. And of course, we had Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay from Ubisoft. Gameplay is in quotes, by the way. So yeah, that's what was showing at the Inside Xbox. So Dana Abercrombie, did anything stand out to you during that stream?
Okay, so here's the thing. I was excited for this show. Again, they were advertising for about a week, and they advertised gameplay. So I was expecting that, and trailers, and I expected a low-key but still exciting event. And we got a lot of games were announced. That you have to give it to them. And we did see a lot of trailers. In terms of games that I was excited for, from what I do know, I was very much excited for the Valhalla. I was expecting, obviously, gameplay, and we kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to that. It was somewhat coming, it was more like, we got to see the Vikings pillaging and raiding forests, but it really wasn't, full-on gameplay at all. I was slightly disappointed with that. I know Bright Memory Infinite, that was the first-person sci-fi shooter where you get to fight, I think it was the monsters, and you're wielding a sword. That was okay. I wasn't exactly excited to see that one. Call of the Sea, I like adventure puzzle games. This one was set in the 30s, and you get to explore Mystery Island. That again, it looked really nice in terms of its scenery, but it really wasn't something that kind of stood out for me. I think there was choir or chorus. Sorry, it was chorus. It seemed okay. I remember it was in space. It was like a space combat shooter. I have to see more from that to really get excited. Dirt 5, if you played the other Dirts, you kind of know exactly what you're expecting. So I wasn't really kind of, again, excited for that. Madden, we all know how Madden is going to turn out, but what Madden that I was really excited to see is, the advancement of the technology, because every year it's going to look different, and we're going to, get more when it comes to realism and how it's going to look and how the play is going to feel. It did look very good in that sense. We didn't really get a lot of gameplay action. We do know that it was smart delivery. I don't think they said it's going to be smart delivery, but it might be. So will be slightly excited if that is announced for that. Scarlet Nexus, that was the one that I would say I was most excited for. It was like an anime, and it kind of looked like I was actually in a cartoon. And that was something that I was very excited to see. And I look forward to more information of that one. Scorn, I know they didn't really show much of anything, but it looked like it was very creepy. And it piqued my interest with that one. I think there was second extinction. Sorry. Again, not much was shown, but there was dinosaurs. If you like the dinosaurs, that's great. The Ascent, I will say, looked very interesting for the fact I like cyberpunk worlds, and it was a cyberpunk setting. And I know it's a lot of fighting, and you have to go through enemies, and I think you can do it with friends, or you could just do it by yourself. So that also was very interesting and exciting. The Medium, this is a psychological horror game. I like to be scared, so that was very good. I know we're getting a sequel to Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Aside from maybe the violence, and in terms of that, is slightly exciting for, but Yakuza Like a Dragon was something that, again, I would have to say would be the only second game that I was really excited to see. We don't really have, again, much gameplay, even though we were just kind of announced it was gameplay. But that is something that I want more information about. I know that's going to be their launch game for the Xbox Series X, so that seems good. I know that it will support cross-save, which is between Xbox One, Xbox Series X. So that would be good. And I know it also has smart delivery. That's exciting. But those are the only two games for me. So it would be Yakuza and obviously Valhalla that stood out the most.
Nice. Okay. And how about you, Richard?
All right, so let me start off by saying this. I'm definitely going to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but I have to say we did not see a gameplay trailer today. That was in-game footage, but there's a difference between in-game footage and gameplay. And I know I had wrote an article on the website last week when they revealed Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the very first time, and I made mention of the fact that, yes, this is a cinematic trailer. They said it was a world premiere cinematic trailer, but I question why you would have that as your reveal of the game for the very first time and show no gameplay at all. But then again, when I saw that they said, Microsoft made their announcement and said, well, we're going to have this game at our event next week, then I said, okay, well, good. Then we'll see some gameplay. So I was very disappointed today to not see gameplay. And I know I'm not the only one, because Ubisoft's YouTube channel right now, as of this recording, 11K likes and 18K dislikes.
Whoa.
So a lot of people are not happy about that seeing that trailer. especially
But,
to know that it. Well, go ahead.
oh no, no, carry on. Were you about to carry on about Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Go on. I'll say my part after.
Okay, yeah, but especially when this event was talked as a inside Xbox gameplay reveal event, and then you end off the event with Assassin's Creed, and there's no gameplay. So that right there, I had to
Mm-hmm.
laugh at. So go ahead. What was you say? What was you gonna say, Gary, about Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Yeah, I was about to say like pretty much the same thing. Like, why did they even advertise it as gameplay? Because I believe the expectation was that we were actually going to get to see the main character running through the streets, fighting
Yep.
people. Like, we wanted to see all of that in real time, like in the game. That's what we were expecting when you said you were going to have gameplay. But
Well, see,
they showed an in-game engine, and somebody told me they showed some scenes of you building the environment or something like that. But
Yeah.
that's like, it was probably like a second or something. Like, it was mixed in with, like, you know, in-game cutscenes pretty much. So that did not give us what we want. All they had to do was not advertise it as gameplay, and it would have been fine.
but technically, what they showed us was a game that you play. So, there you go.
Yeah, I
Technically,
mean, that's an
you,
interesting way of looking at it too, but
it's a game that you play, and they showed it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just think they should have used different terminology and it would have been fine. Like, they could have just said, you're gonna get to see the in-game engine today, like, and then that would be fine. Then our expectations are in order, you know. So
see, the one point that I will add. Now, I know that Microsoft, they own the marketing rights to this particular game. That's a deal that they have with Ubisoft. So perhaps this is all that Ubisoft would allow them to show, because we do know that a lot of publishers are going to have their own little events this summer to replace E3. So I'm pretty sure when Ubisoft has their digital event, you're going to see a hell of a lot more of this game at that particular time. But that is definitely a possibility. And then, of course, we know the Summer Games event that Jeff Keighley is behind as well. I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff that we expected to see today is you're definitely going to see it at those, you know, either individually by the publisher or at an event like that, because then they don't have to you know, abide by whatever guidelines Microsoft has for Xbox. So I understand that from that standpoint, but I have to say I was definitely disappointed because I wanted to see a lot more from this game. It didn't really impact my mindset because I'm definitely interested in the concept of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm definitely going to pick it up and play it, but I just would appreciate seeing more of what I'm actually going to be playing if the game actually does come out this fall and doesn't get delayed until 2021. So that's what I have to say about that. As for the other titles that they showed, I did find it interesting that Dana liked Scarlet Nexus, because I believe that's also the game that you liked as well, Gary, and I'm pretty sure you'll elaborate more on that later. But
yep.
yeah, that looks great. You know, as far when it comes to Dirt, I've played a lot of the Dirt games, so I have a good idea of what to expect. I will check that out, although I'm more so interested in whatever this next Forza game is that I know is going to definitely get revealed in July when Microsoft has their event. So we'll see about that. Bright Memory Infinite looked somewhat interesting, but yeah, some of this stuff I need to see more. I will give them credit and say that was at least gameplay for that game. The Scorn game, that looked to me all like cinematics, like it was no gameplay, and a lot of questions I have about that. So we still need to see more. A few others that I will mention. Yakuza like a dragon. You know, I think it's good that Microsoft. I did see that they announced that game is going to be coming to Xbox Series X day one as a launch title. So that's good. Although I do know that this game is also coming to PS5, and that series really picked up in popularity on PlayStation. You know, with all the games they released over the last couple of years. So, but it's still good that Microsoft will have that at launch, and I will be very curious to see if that ends up being a Game Pass game, because then that will get a lot more people to actually, I think, they actually will get a chance to play it if they have Game Pass. Two other quick games I want to mention. Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. When I saw that game, when it was revealed on PC, I thought, well, this is great, because I know they had a event, I believe, last year where you had an opportunity to play it at one of the trade shows. I didn't get a chance to play the game, so I'm glad to know it's coming to Xbox Series X. I haven't really played any of the other entries in the series, but I definitely am wanting to get into that series. So we'll see whether or not I have an opportunity to do that, if the other games are going to eventually come to Xbox, or if I need to actually get it on PC. That's to be determined. And finally, The Medium, which, in my opinion, that was a game that interested me the most, even though there wasn't really any gameplay with that particular trailer. Because Blooper Team, I'm a fan of all the work that they have been doing. They worked on Layers of Fear. Last year, they worked on the Blair Witch game as well. So I think that they are definitely the right people to do these psychological horror games. But the fact that they also have the composer for Silent Hill involved in this game, they're definitely interesting. Something I wasn't expecting. So I definitely will I look forward to hearing more about that. And that also is coming out this fall as well. As a launch title for Xbox Series X also. So definitely looking forward to that. But overall, I would say, as someone who very much loves Xbox as a brand, I wasn't particularly impressed with today's show. I think the real show is in July when they actually talk about the first-party studios. Because, again, I think that's what everybody is waiting for, to see what are the other titles they're going to talk about besides Halo and what these other studios are working on. And I will also add in this last point, one thing that I will say is that I feel by them doing this event, it was good to, let people know these are games that are coming to next gen. But if I was Microsoft, I would have maybe waited to have this event next month as opposed to now, for the simple fact that you possibly could have gotten more to show now, because I'm pretty sure that every company, whether it's a publisher, whether it's an entertainment studio, and we have seen this, Dana and I have seen this with shows like The Walking Dead, in which the finale was delayed because of all the stuff that's going on. So I'm pretty sure, because of the shutdown, the lockdown across the world, a lot of these places that are working on these games, they possibly haven't been able to get quite as much accomplished because they have to work remotely, which means that a lot of trailers that we would have thought we were going to see today, there's a reason why we didn't see that today. And there's also a reason why Microsoft said, well, we're not going to show our first-party stuff until July, because they want to give their teams enough time to actually put together something that they can actually show. So I definitely am curious, but I hope people do take into consideration everybody was impacted by what's going on now in the world regarding the lockdown. So that definitely, I'm pretty sure that's going to definitely impact some games as far as their development cycles and whether or not they're actually going to get shown. So I hope people take that into consideration, because we have already seen it happen with movies and TV shows also. So that's all I have to say. But still, okay show, but I was expecting more, and I'm definitely expecting more in July.
And also, really quickly, they did announce the smart delivery compatible games. Which means that each title will offer an Xbox Series X optimized version, so you'll be able to go on, like, say, Xbox One and buy a copy for one of the two consoles, and you'll get the other version will also be included free. So the games announced for that was smart delivery compatible was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Chorus, Dirt 5, Scarlet Nexus, Second Extension, The Ascent, Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. So for the other remaining 4 games, it's not really clear on whether they're going to be just Xbox X Series exclusives that won't be available on Xbox One. So we still have more information, that's pending when it comes for these games as well.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I know, Madden NFL 21. I've seen some people are very angry about that online right now. That's
Yep.
only until the end of the year that that option is available. So I don't know what EA is thinking about with that decision, but that's not a good. They might want to reconsider that if they see people are really angry about it.
Oh, you already know what EA's thinking. The,
What's that?
they're thinking, how can we get the most amount of money from people? That's all they're thinking about. They definitely don't want to give anything away for free, So they got to make sure they limit it as much as possible so that there's a small window in which you'll actually get the game for free. And this is pretty much just so that they get good enough PR. Because that's all they care about. They want their reputation to be somewhat good, and they want people to consistently spend money. That's all they care about at the moment. So
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
But yeah, some good thoughts from both of you guys about Inside Xbox. As for me, I'm very much a different kind of gamer nowadays, so I probably wasn't as excited by this stream as maybe I would have been in the past. The only thing that stood out to me was Scarlet Nexus. Like that seems like a type of game that I would play. And also, I recently got into the Yakuza series, so it was interesting to see Yakuza Like a Dragon on an Xbox stream, because this game has historically been aligned with the PlayStation brand. I believe there's been a game or two that was on the Nintendo platform as well, but mainly they've been PlayStation games. So the fact that we're now seeing Yakuza games pop up on Xbox, like how Yakuza 0 was on Game Pass, and now they pretty much just revealed a whole new I guess this is like a side title, like a what do you call it, like a I forgot the word I'm looking for, but it's a spin-off. There we go, that's what I was looking for. It's a spin-off title. This isn't Yakuza 7, and the character in this game is a different one from the main character in the other games. This guy has an afro, so I don't know, what's going on there, but but yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how, I want to see if there's an audience for Yakuza on the Xbox, because, when Yakuza 0 went to Game Pass, I saw a lot of people surprised about it, and a lot of people were like, oh wow, yeah, I can finally play this game now, but I didn't actually hear about a lot of Xbox gamers playing the game. Like, they were shocked that it was there, and they acknowledged it, but not too many people I know played it when it was on Game Pass. So I want to know how people actually, receive Like a Dragon. What was you going to say, Rich?
I just was going to make a comment that I also would like to know if the people are actually playing it, because I know that they also released Yakuza Kiwami, I think it was about a week ago, on Game Pass as well. So both that and Zero are on Game Pass. I've downloaded both games. I haven't had an opportunity to play them yet, but yeah, I'm curious to know whether or not that's something everybody is actually checking out, because I know there was a lot of excitement when they heard it was coming to Game Pass, but I would love to see the numbers behind who actually is playing this, and it hasn't been beneficial for both Sega and Microsoft to have this on Game Pass.
Yeah, indeed. What was you going to say, Dana?
And really quickly, because Others Inc. is saying that Madden will have smart delivery, and he is correct, but there is a catch with the program, that will, instead of the smart delivery program offering the free upgrade, EA will be running its own, it will possibly much limited upgrade offer. Yeah. He is right in that sense, but it's going to be limited. So, and as to your point as well, they want that money.
Yeah, because I thought they said, if you buy the game on Xbox One, you can upgrade before, but you have to do it before the end of the year. I think December 31st or something like that. Otherwise, it's not going to be a free update. That's what I thought they were saying.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to have bought the game before December 31st, and you have to transfer it to the new console before March or something like that.
Okay, yes, you are right. It says
okay.
to receive the offer, players must purchase Madden NFL 21 on Xbox One by December 31st and upgrade to Xbox Series X by March 31st of 2021.
Okay.
So you have a very small window there. So
Well,
it would be 3 months.
Well, somebody better be getting a lot of money for Christmas so that they could buy that Series X.
Yeah, because we don't have 30 million unemployed right now. Woo!
Yeah.
Good luck with that. But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the same kind of gamer anymore. So a lot of these games, I wasn't as excited as I should be for them because I'm probably not going to play most of them. And Assassin's Creed, I'm 2 games behind still. So I started Origin, but I haven't completed it. So I don't even know if I'm getting that game. I don't even know if I'm getting
Vikings. How could you say no to Vikings? Valhalla. That basically means heaven. They're all dead.
I know. I like Vikings.
Everyone is going to die. It's going to be brutal and violent, and everything else. So you got to get to Valhalla.
Here's the question, and I don't really know if this was answered by Ubisoft because not really a lot of information I know about this game. Is this game in any way tied to the other ones, or is this just a standalone entry in the series where there's not going to be, because we already know Desmond is not coming back. That character is gone. So I would love to know if this is connected to the last Assassin's Creed game that came out, because I don't think it is.
At this point, I have no idea if there's any continuity in these games at all. Like I can't answer that question, but it would be interesting if there was.
Yeah.
I will say that from Odyssey onwards, I've liked this new approach to the game that they've been taking. Like it's a really nice hybrid between having like a action adventure game and RPG. Like there's a lot of RPG elements. So I do love the balance in these last few games that they've been putting out. But I just don't always have the time for it, and there's always other games that I would rather play instead. So maybe I will try to catch up though before Valhalla comes out, and just run through Origin.
It's a standalone. They're all standalone. So Valhalla, Vikings.
I know I probably could just hop right into Valhalla, but I kind of I still want to beat Origins, and I want to play Odyssey because I heard great things about Odyssey. So I still want to play those games, and I feel like I should play them before Valhalla. So.
But here's the thing: as to answer the question of whether or not it's connected, it does not have any previous storyline, so you're good in that regard. But you may hear references to older Assassins series, or that was already in the game, but you don't need to have knowledge of them in order to proceed with playing Valhalla.
Okay. That's cool.
That's good to know.
So yeah,
it's good for people to know. But yeah, as for me overall, I wasn't a huge fan of this stream. Like, it was just whatever to me. And this isn't just me being like one-sided at all, because I haven't been impressed with what Sony has shown so far either. So.
Well, here's the question. Well, hold on, Gary. Let me stop you right there. What has Sony shown so far?
I got answers for that. They showed a logo. They showed they gave like a tech lecture with Mark Cerny, and they showed the DualSense. So that's 3 things right there.
Yeah. And by the way, these are all images. We didn't see how the controller looks. I didn't see somebody playing and talking about the features, the video presentation on the controller, and that's it. So I kind of feel like with Sony, I know a lot of our friends that we have at the Koalition, and our very good friend Mr. Tony Polacco. been saying that Sony absolutely has been silent, and they need to do something, because it feels like with Microsoft, they have been, since the year has started, ever since they revealed the Series X at the Game Awards, they have always had something to say about the game or about what they're doing in some capacity over the span of time. Like, they also told us this week about their 2020 vision. So we knew about this stuff that was coming. We knew about the show today, but then we also knew about the event they're having in July days ago. So that wasn't new information today. That was just reiterating what was already said. But it feels as though they have done a much better job. And then, of course, we've actually seen the console. We haven't even seen what the PS5 looks like yet. So, Sony definitely, I know that right now they're focused on Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, but they definitely need to show that they still have a lot to say about PS5. So I would hope that maybe that's going to happen next month. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And I guess because we're having the Summerfest thing as well, which is going to be basically a virtual E3 that's going to run through the summer, I guess. So
yeah.
I'll also say that, probably the reason why this Inside Xbox might have felt a bit shallow is because a lot of companies are, saving stuff for that, I guess. And like Rich said as well, the pandemic has made it difficult for people to work on projects, so I'm sure it's a mix of those things. So I don't want to be too negative and beat up on all the developers and studios or anything, because I didn't like what they showed today. I understand that there's probably reasons why. It's just it's just going to take a lot more to impress me at this point. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, there was some cool stuff, like I said, and I recognize that some of these games, like, I'm not the target market for some of these games, so I understand that part too. So I'm sure there's stuff in there that actually stood out to a lot of people. It's just that I'm different in my taste now. So it was cool, at least to get an idea of some of the stuff that is coming for next gen. So in that regard, it was definitely cool. But do you guys have anything else you want to get into regarding Xbox Series X or PS5 or any of the third party stuff?
Did Dana have something? I think she wanted to mention.
There are you have to just keep checking the Xbox YouTube account, because they are dropping other trailers that and things we didn't really get to see.
Yeah,
which is really frustrating for me.
Yeah, a lot of stuff came out after, it seems like.
A lot of things came out after.
Oh yeah, I've been getting all types of emails, press releases of other games getting release dates and stuff like that also. So it's slightly frustrating, but to go check that out, because there are games that is going to be released, and there are trailers and information that's up on their YouTube site. So to check on that.
Yeah. So one thing I will bring up, and get you guys' opinion on. So it seems like Microsoft is very confident, and especially when it comes to the fact that they are releasing this year, they seem very confident that is going to happen.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
A lot of people have been doubting that they'll be able to, with all the stuff that's happened. And also people have been doubting that, Halo Infinite is actually coming out this year and stuff. So, I want to ask you guys, do you think that they're definitely dropping this year at this point? And if so, has, everything that they've done marketing-wise and stream-wise, is it enough for you to actually want to purchase the system once it does come out this year? So I'm going to start with you first, Rich. What do you think?
Well, I actually saw, I believe it was a article that was released the other day, saying that Microsoft had extended their work from home policies and opportunities to October of this year. So I think that what has happened has definitely impacted Microsoft. It's impacted everybody, but they are still able to get work done in some capacity. There are obviously going to still be some issues, because if you're trying to transfer massive files over a regular Wi-Fi home internet, I would imagine that might be a little problematic. So they're going to definitely have some issues, but I think for the most part, based on if looking at what they have done and what Sony has not done, I would agree with Phil Spencer in saying I am fully confident that you're going to see the Xbox One drop this holiday because, again, we've already seen the console. When they revealed the console at the Game Awards show, shortly thereafter, there were videos popping up online of whether it's Digital Foundry or other people who had got their hands on the console, and you saw them actually hold it and talk about it. So I don't think it's going to be an issue of them releasing. Now, is it going to be where they're able to produce a ton of consoles to release this year? I have no idea how that production cycle is, but they're definitely still coming out this year. And again, I don't know how anybody would doubt that Microsoft isn't coming out because, again, we've seen a hell of a lot from Microsoft. We haven't seen hardly anything from Sony aside from the controller, the logo of the PS5, and then you saw the little lecture by Mark Cerny. That's it. You didn't see the system. You didn't see what the system looks like. You didn't hear about a price point, and you haven't seen any PS5 games. I mean, you saw a few of them. Godfall, which is also coming to PC, but we haven't seen any PS5 launch titles yet. So I think, obviously, if anybody should be concerned about whether or not they're going to release this year, I would say PS5 because I haven't seen nothing on PS5 yet. Whereas with Xbox, the system is coming. Phil Spencer has said it's coming, and they definitely want to remind people that you saw in the video today, Aaron Greenberg very excited about Halo Infinite. So for sure that's going to be that you're going to see a lot of that in July, and that I think will definitely launch. Although I will have to say this as well because I know Phil Spencer had an interview with Ryan McCaffrey over at IGN, and he did mention that obviously their goal is to release the system in time. The one concern they do have is that some of the games might not be quite ready at launch. So I don't think you're going to see a ton of first-party games at launch. I could be wrong, but you're definitely going to see Halo at the very least because they really know that it's important for them to release that with the new console. So I look forward to seeing what all we're going to get, but I'm not worried about Microsoft. I think they're definitely going to launch this year. If anybody is to be concerned, it's PlayStation because they have been so quiet when it comes to the actual system itself. So we have to wait and see about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, our friend Reggie just said begging Sony isn't going to make them talk about the system any sooner. So, I mean, if it's gotten to the point where people want to beg, I think that is actually a bad thing. So, But shouts to Reggie though. I definitely want to get him on the podcast at some point. But go ahead, Dana.
No, you guys already said, for Halo Infinite, it will be revealed at the July event. And that we do know that everything in regards to Halo, it's on track to release in 2020 holiday. So that should be fine. And also, just to pivot a wee bit, on the Bungie Twitter account, that they announced that Destiny 2 will be coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. They don't know, the exact release window yet. They're not announcing that when it's going to drop, but it is going to happen for the next gen. So that is something also to look forward to.
I actually have to say that I commend Bungie because it seems like now that they're out of the Activision deal, it's like they have a lot more freedom to kind of manage the game in the way that they want to. So it seems like they're planning to make a lot more content for Destiny 2 in the long term, whereas Activision was trying to force them to put out, Destiny 1, Destiny 2, Destiny 3, or whatever. So I'm glad that, Bungie has control of these decisions now.
Yeah. And I just want to make a quick comment on the conversation that I did see was happening with the chat between Michael and Others Inc. And I will say, yes, it definitely was Ubisoft's decision to show what they showed today and then not elaborate more on gameplay. But I do think that I would not be surprised whenever they have their event, because Ubisoft already said they're still going to have some type of digital event. I don't know if they're going to be a part of the Summer Games thing or they're going to have something separately, but whenever they have their event, you're definitely going to see that. You're going to see Watch Dogs Legion and all these other titles that they have been very quiet on and haven't shown anything, because I'm pretty sure all of that stuff is coming to next gen. So that's, I guess, when we have to wait. But yeah, it is a missed opportunity, because they could have showed some gameplay today, and that would have probably got people a lot more hyped for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But it is what it is. Whatever the agreement was between them and Microsoft, I guess they decided, no, we're going to save that for our show. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really blame Microsoft for that, because that definitely was a Ubisoft decision, right there.
Yeah.
So I can't blame Microsoft for that, and I hope it didn't come off that way. I was just saying that I wasn't highly enthused about the entire stream period, but
yeah.
But but in that specific thing, that was definitely all on Ubisoft.
Absolutely.
So yeah. I mean, at this point, I just have to say I'm excited for Summerfest. I feel like that's going to be a good stretch of different reveals and stuff, and I think it works better than E3, because you can expand it over a longer period of time, and it's going to feel like E3 every week or something like that. So that's pretty good. So.
I agree, and since you brought that up, I just want to ask a quick comment. This is not particularly on topic, but I figure I might as well ask this question since we are all here. You heard that EA is having their event, the EA Play event that you and I very much enjoy, Gary. Every time we go to E3, it is by far the best conference we go to, because they never let us in and all this other crap. So I just wanted to ask you, because I saw there was a rumor that said that there are 4 games that they're going to announce that are coming out. So I don't know if you had any speculation as to what you think those 4 games are. And Dana, also, if you have any thoughts, because I've heard multiple sources say they're making Mass Effect Trilogy remastered. I've seen that multiple websites say that, but EA hasn't announced that yet officially. So I just wanted to get your quick opinions on that.
Yeah, I mean, as for what the 4 games are, I'm kind of burnt out with EA, so I don't even care to guess. Like I don't even want to know at this point. But as for a Mass Effect collection, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like I think that's a great idea, because that's almost 2 generations ago now. So you need to people need to remember why these games were so good, because you don't know how many times I've replayed those games, like all 3 of them, in the past decade. Like I've played them over and over and over. I actually recently replayed them again, and they still hold up. They're still amazing games. So I do feel like a collection is warranted, and I want like a whole new generation of people to understand why those games are so significant. And because I don't even believe that, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 games came close to how good Mass Effect was in this generation, and I would say that's The Witcher 3, and I mean, for me personally, this might not be the same for everyone, but Persona 5. And yeah, I mean, besides that, not many games came close to that level of impact, in my opinion. So yeah, I would love for them to have a Mass Effect collection. Another series that I really think needs a collection too is the Metal Gear Solid series. But, but I guess the logistics of that would be difficult, because
Konami, Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima, Konami, and then specifically also Metal Gear Solid 4, because that game was optimized for the PS3, so I don't think it's an easy game to kind of redo for other platforms. But yeah, if they could release a collection for that would be amazing too, just to introduce it to a whole new generation. But But yeah, that's my thoughts on EA. Dana, how about you? Did you have any thoughts on what those 4 EA games might be?
Well, they're gonna take over for WWE 2K22. Clearly.
Yeah.
It's always frustrated me that we've never seen a WWE game at E3.
Yeah. That has been very frustrating.
And they're there, and you have Xavier, who's there, and he's talking about other games. Why not promote WWE? But anyway, in regards to that question, I honestly don't know the answer to that. So I'm going to say that everything Gary said is accurate.
Okay. And just so I can answer my own question, I also would love to see the Mass Effect trilogy come to next gen consoles or whatever, however they decide to release this. I want to see that come. As for what the other games could be, my guess is we're going to get another UFC game because it's been a while since we've had that. And as for the other two, I guess another Battlefield again, and
that makes sense.
I don't know what the other one would be.
Dragon Age maybe, because I know they were working on one.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that game because I haven't heard nothing. I figured BioWare, they very they're on very shaky grounds these days because of Anthem was a flop. So and they kept saying that, well, no, we're still going to support Anthem. I haven't heard nothing about this game since it launched last year, so I don't know about that. But the Dragon Age is great because I have heard them talk about that, every so often, but they haven't really elaborated on where they're at in that project. So yeah, I would love to see that too.
But in regards to your UFC prediction, can we have Queen Velasquez on the cover?
Oh yeah, because
since he has no job.
Exactly. Yes, they definitely should do that. And I would also add, if they want to make the game more realistic, let's also have a mode where the fighters go through all types of dramatic things, like they get themselves into taking drug abuse, all this other type of stuff. Let's go ahead and address that. Because I know that Mr. Jones, that's Mr. Kennedy's favorite UFC fighter. And I know he gonna be mad when he hear this, but yeah, I would love to see that guy. You play as the character, and he has to get high before his fight. So yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
See, I was more of like the friendlier approach where we can get a crossover with the WWE.
Hey, I would love to see that. I honestly have to say I really don't know why EA did not try to do some type of wrestling game, because
they can do AEW.
They absolutely could. They absolutely could do AEW, but it feels like because they want to always compete. Because I'm pretty sure they're still working on another NBA Live because they feel that they can still compete with NBA 2K. So that's why I'm surprised they have not tried to do a wrestling game, because it's good. It's good to be It's good for there to be competition, multiple games out there, because it's going to make both developers try to actually work on making something actually good.
Wow.
Yeah. And speaking of competing as well, I do have a wild speculation of what one of the games could be. Now, a couple years back or so, there was like a report that said EA really wants to have like their own sort of open world series, if you will, like Grand Theft Auto and Assassin's Creed. So I feel like we'll get a completely new and original title from them that will be open world, and they're gonna try and make this their Grand Theft Auto or something.
Well, then, wait, does anybody remember they announced the Fast and Furious game?
Yeah, that game is supposed to be coming out this month. I haven't heard nothing else about whether or not that game is coming out.
I know it's called Crossroads. Yep. I don't remember who is making it. That was Bandai Namco.
Was it?
Okay. It was Bandai.
Is Tyrese in that game?
You laugh. You guys are mean. But he's there. His ears will provide the sleek and silky road for you to race on.
Indeed, they will.
So mean. But yeah, I wish they would show more of that because that could have been fun. And it's coming out in May, and we're in May.
Yeah, so I think at the end of this month, it should be out. Um, oh yeah, the last point I wanted to make. EA did announce that the Star Wars Fallen Order is now a new series. So there's definitely going to be a sequel to that. And I actually, my brother, I saw him beat that game over the holidays last year. And the way that game ends, yeah. So that was the plan all along because of how it does end. So yeah, that's good that they are going to continue to make more Star Wars games. But let's hope that the other ones they have the same level of quality because this one was pretty good. It's not amazing, it's not fantastic. It's a good game, but I hope they don't take the same game and let's do the exact same things with this game in the sequel so that it gets stale. So hopefully they don't do that, but we'll have to wait and see what they have in store for everybody.
Well, remember, they're also having a new Star Wars movie that's coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
With Waititi or whatever his name is, the guy who directed Thor,
Ragnarok, yeah.
Ragnarok, and the upcoming one, Love and Thunder or God and Thunder.
Oh yeah, that should be interesting. I look forward to that.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of new talking points in the coming months. So it's good that the podcast is back and everything, and we will be covering stuff once the news stories are out there. We're gonna definitely go live and cover these things. So definitely look out for more from us. And did you guys have anything else you wanted to get in quickly before we wrap up? Anything, Rich?
Oh no, yeah, I just want to thank everybody for listening and checking out the show. I hope everybody is staying safe. And yeah, just looking forward to things getting better. It looks as though things were getting better so far this month, so let's hope that stays on track.
Cool. Any like final shout outs to anyone in particular?
Oh, shout out to all the fans. Of course, we had Other Zinc and Michael that were on today. So, and of course, Reggie. Shout out to you guys for checking out the show. I definitely want to give a shout out to Mr. Adam Vale. He published a review of Streets of Rage 4 on the website this week. So definitely check out the review. Dana has been posting a lot of interviews on the website as well. Definitely check them out. If you're interested in Dying Light 2, check out my interview with the actual lead game designer. That's on the website also. But yeah, we're going to continue to publish more content. So I definitely appreciate everybody continuing to check out the website as well as the podcast, and looking forward to the next show that we record.
Indeed. And how about you, Dana? Any final thoughts or shout outs?
Thanks to everyone who is listening and all of the interviews that we have and are coming up. It's a lot. And keep playing video games, especially now that we're all stuck indoors. I know it was high demand, and that I recall that we saw $1.6 billion in just like this month for the month of March. No, I think I got that wrong, but we saw a high rate of people buying video games for the month of March, and keep gaming. And we have more games to come, and I hope they don't suck.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, and I just want to give a big thanks to all of our Patreon supporters: M. Collins, Mauricio Aguilar, Himdil, Fergus Mills, Miguel, Antonio Rogers, Wesley, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And also shouts to a few of the people who always support the show, like Wesley, and Other Zinc has been commenting a lot lately, Reggie, and of course shouts to the whole Throwdown crew. Shouts to Antonio Murray, one of our passionate associates in the industry. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So and I want to give a big shouts to all of the Koalition staff for for going ham basically on the site. There's a lot of new content up there. I know Rich had his article about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and that article is very relevant today. So so definitely go back and check that out. And shouts to Brian Wilson also, who had, he had an editorial on, 9 predictions and expectations for the PS5. So go check that out. And, Dana always has a lot of great content. I can't even keep up. She has a lot of great interviews. So go check out all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it from us. There are a lot of things we still want to talk about. We got some stuff about The Last of Us 2 to discuss. And I have some Overwatch specific stuff that I want to say too, relating to the downfall of the game. So, hopefully if we get some time, we're definitely going to hop on and cover these topics. So
yeah.
And shout out to Nintendo, because you can't find a Nintendo Switch anywhere. They're sold out.
Uh-oh.
They are sold out.
Is that the new toilet paper? Nintendo Switches?
That's the toilet paper of gaming right now. They're having a very good pandemic year.
Wow. Yeah, I still need to get mine, but we'll see how that works out. But yeah, that's pretty much it from us. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we will be we will be sending out tweets and alerts whenever we're gonna go live again. So you guys should always know. So just make sure you follow the Koalition on Twitter and Facebook, and you'll always be in the know of when we're about to go live. Peace out.
Absolutely.
And also we'll talk about the upcoming WWE game, because we're excited for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely look out for the WrestleCast. I believe you guys are recording tomorrow or this weekend, right?
It's either gonna be tomorrow or Saturday. I think it's gonna probably be tomorrow. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. We will provide an update on that very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, because there's a lot of juicy wrestling news out there right now. So
Juice. Everyone's fired, basically.
yeah,
Sadness.
that's not good.
Absolutely.
No, it's not. It's sad.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. We're out. Peace.
Peace.